So, Ada, did you hear that aliens are real now?
Now?
Yeah.
Honey, them things have been real. When were you born?
Well, I was born in the year 2000, which I like to say to people and watch them turn to dust before my eyes.
Honestly, I do the same thing, but now being born in the 90s doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah. See, my one of my life goals is to get on Drag Race and look RuPaul dead in the eyes and go, I was born in the year 2000 and watch her completely disintegrate right in front of me.
Crumble.
Oh yeah. Has anyone born in the 2000s been on Drag Race?
I
I'm sure like
there I
somebody.
think there had to have been someone on last season.
Yeah.
Someone really young. They would have only had to have been in their 21, 22 years old.
Yeah. I don't think there were any 21-year-olds on this season, were there? I don't know. We'll have to
I don't
fact check
remember
later.
most of last season.
Yeah, I'm scared to say anything on here because I don't want people in the comments yelling at me for being wrong. So
No,
uh,
I'm just gonna go with I have a bad memory. It was what it was, and there were wonderful queens.
here you go. Speaking of having a bad memory, we're here for a reason. Welcome to Vox Talks, the show where we talk about things because we're good at it and we like to do it, and we're also Voxes. My name is Zelda Vox,
And I am Ada Vox.
and today we are going to be talking about looks as requested by one Miss Shannon O'Neill. So to start off, I clearly am in the most elevated and polished look I could possibly be in, which is I put on my Elmo makeup and then threw on whatever I had lying around because I'm not sitting in a corset for an hour while we film this. Tell me a little bit about your look today, Ada.
My look is casual. My look is easy. My look is no body shapers and everything hanging out underneath this camera.
I love that. I feel like that is the Vox family brand. Is
And
we
it
do
is.
exactly as much as we have to.
And I know every Vox that I know being the only other one being Vicky.
Who is not
That
related
that
to us, by
bitch,
the way.
no, not related. She's just a sister friend. But that bitch will dress the same damn way. Just like she'll put on something comfortable and get on camera, call it a day.
Oh yeah. Listen, you guys, these people are here to look at our faces and listen to us talk. They don't give a shit what we're wearing. They could not
No,
care
they don't.
less.
No.
So, but when we do care what people are wearing, what do you think makes a good drag look?
Cohesiveness. I don't care if it's extremely extravagant or if it comes across as street attire, whatever people want to refer to it as long as the look is cohesive and feels complete, then I
Yes.
think it's good.
Yes, I am of that mind as well, but I would like to add unique because I think my biggest pet peeve with drag looks is when people grab stuff from Fashion Nova or Amazon, which to be clear is totally fine to do. But if you're going to get it and throw it on your body as is, no styling, no alterations, no embellishing, that's when I have a problem.
So what you're saying is off the rack.
Yes. That
Okay,
I
off the
and I
rack bad.
right. But there's a difference that I think people don't understand between off the rack and pedestrian because I think pedestrian drag can be very good. Like if it's done
Yeah,
well, as you said, in a very cohesive way.
that is an interesting point to make because you can take off the rack and make it look like a cohesive performance
Right.
stage ready look, and as you
Right.
mentioned, it is in the styling and presentation, so that
Right.
is very good for you to have brought that up because lots of queens that are just starting seem to forget and they feel like they have to spend thousands of dollars on every look that they
Right.
do, but you really don't. You
No.
just have to make do with what you got. Off the rack itself is not bad, but wearing it straight off the rack without anything done to zhuzh it
Right.
up is where the problem begins. No
Because
fucking H&M.
right. And because I think what makes drag so fun and what I think differentiates drag looks from just like things that you normal people wear is that a drag look is something that you have and nobody else has. I think the aspect of it being very much your own creation, whether that's you bought the dress at Hot Topic and put a bunch of rhinestones on it. I've done that. I did that. My recent scene look that I posted with all that entire outfit was Hot Topic, but I styled it well and I added a whole bunch of rhinestones and I made it my own thing. Nobody else has that same Hot Topic dress with as many stones as I have on it. You know?
Because you're one of a kind, baby. You're the Hot Topic
Exactly.
girl.
And so like I think that's my biggest problem. And even like when you even, not even talking about like the Amazon Fashion Nova Shein of it all, like
Mhm.
even people wearing these like designer outfits that the designers just make the same outfit over and over again and everybody buys and they're like, "Oh, look at me, I'm special because I'm wearing the same designer outfit that everybody else has the exact same one of." And I'm like, that's fine to like have it, but like I don't know, I get bored of seeing the same designer outfits over and over again.
I am guilty of being a person who has the same dress in multiple colors from the same designer.
See, but I feel like that's
But
different because it's you have it as something that is very distinctly you. Whereas like I've
yeah,
seen that same Eddie Couture bodysuit on 20 different people and it looks exactly the same on all of them.
you better read Eddie Couture.
Well, and that's the thing is the Eddie Couture bodysuits are lovely. He does a
Yes,
great job with them.
it, he's an incredible designer.
Oh yeah, and like it's no shade
Mhm.
to the designers, it's shade to the queens who buy the clothes from the designers and just like all love to Monica Beverly Hills, but when she wore that Eddie Couture bodysuit for her signature drag runway on Drag Race in those fucking white ankle booties, I just about damn near lost my mind.
She said, "Is this your signature drag or everyone else's signature, and you just also add your name on the petition?"
Yeah, well, because I saw that after seeing Lucy LaDuca wear it around the country on her tour,
Mhm.
which is fine because she was just wearing it to perform at the show. But like, you're gonna wear the Eddie Couture bodysuit that everyone else owns and be like, "This is my look."
Yeah.
It's
All love to Monica Beverly Hills though. Not a
absolutely.
soaking clock.
Well, and because also like it was probably one of those things where like she was preparing for Drag Race. She was like, there's only so much time you have to get all your
Yeah.
shit together. Like I'm sure everybody going on Drag Race has those one or two runways that they're like, all right, we're just gonna have to roll with it with this one.
Yep, same happened to me on Queen of the Universe. You just gotta
Right.
you can't get something brand new for every single category in that limited amount of
Exactly.
time. You just gotta kind of pull from the closet and hope for the best.
Right. Which is like fine, but also like we're here to talk about looks, and so we're gonna talk about the looks. So speaking of your looks on Queen of the Universe, what are some of your favorite looks that you have done, both on and off TV?
My tits are coming out. I don't consider myself a look queen, and I don't think anybody considers me a look queen. But thinking about things that I've put together, things that I've done, things I've had made, a couple of my favorites are actually looks that still haven't been seen.
Really?
Um, yeah, I believe it or not, I have a bunch of drag laying around that has not been worn. I have stuff that's waiting for the right time, stuff that's waiting for the light of day to, approach
Yeah.
for the right event, the right TV show, the right whatever may be.
Right.
But I do want to shout out the designers who came through at the last minute to make some of my looks for Queen of the Universe.
Mhm.
Lucy and Donna out in Rochester, New York. They just opened up their first actual like shop. They
Oh,
officially have like a costume shop now.
that's really cool.
They made my finale look. They made my first look, which was that red dress that
Oh,
I
I
did for At Last.
love that one.
Um, and what I hate is they did not let me on the show. They changed their mind multiple times and did not let me actually wear the full look. So I have it up on my Instagram, but there's just a really nice like the whole thing is wear a drag that represents where you're from.
Right.
So I was like the whole Texas Rose thing, blah blah blah
Oh,
was the
oh, right.
theme. And I had this big blue cape and coat like cover up that wrapped around
Hmm.
that had Texas, a
Yeah.
whole Texas thing on the back with stars coming down the sides and everything, and then it revealed into the red dress. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to show that. They also made my denim look, which I didn't get to wear on the show. It
Oh,
just wasn't a category that got covered for me during my time on there. But they also made me a denim look, which has not been seen.
oh. That's exciting though, like to have drag that you're just like sitting on and waiting for. Like,
Yeah, there's something I posted to social media like one time, and then I'm like, just kidding, I'm gonna take it down. I don't want people to see that.
oh yeah, well, I do that all the time too, where like I'll take looks down and then I'm like, No, I want to take it down so that when I post it, it's new again.
Yeah.
Like my Elmo look that I'm shooting tonight is going to have been posted by the time this goes up, but like I had posted that last year, and I was like, I'm gonna update it a little bit with like better hair and like slight modifications to the outfit. And so I'm like, I'm gonna take it down, I'm gonna repost it so that we can pretend it's new.
Which comes back to the idea of when you mentioned styling and
Yeah,
how that can turn a look into something entirely new. Like
absolutely.
for you, is there anything that you're like, this is my best look, this is the my favorite thing ever?
I mean, I'm really partial to the gold jumpsuit with the stars. That's like that is probably like the quintessential Zelda Vox look. And it's something that I've had for like a year now. And I didn't wear it until very recently
Have
because
you really?
yeah, it's I had it made by Coco Tree Clothing, who they are great and I highly recommend them to anybody who's like just starting drag because they do um custom made to measure outfits that get delivered that week, and they're pretty affordable as far as custom stuff goes, and it's all stretch too,
Really?
which is
And
nice.
you said like to you within a week, custom made.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. And so like what I did was I sketched, I had designed the look, I sketched it, I said, okay, I want, the jumpsuit, I want the flared sleeves and the flared bell bottoms, and I want the stars all over it in this fabric with the sharp shoulders. And they had it made to me within a week. And then April, my mother and I spent months covering all of the stars in rhinestones, which was a mistake. And I definitely should have just gotten like rhinestone sheets and put them on. Um, but it makes the outfit feel much more special, and it means that if I ever do have to sell it for whatever reason, I can get a lot of money for it because it took so much effort.
Yeah, I literally have Alizé in the other room right now, putting about 5,000 rhinestones on my talent gown for an upcoming pageant.
So speaking of gowns, gorgeous gowns. So you're currently preparing for a pageant.
Yes, Miss Gay Sin City America. It's coming so quickly. Oh.
So I have never done a pageant. I have been vaguely helpful in putting together other people's pageant packages, but I would love to hear from you what goes into a typical pageant.
Phew, everything. When you think of drag race, pageantry, Queen of the Universe, whatever maybe, when you think of competitive drag,
Mhm.
personally, I think that pageantry um, puts the rest of those things to shame in the way that you have to prepare. Because the thing is, for a drag race, you can have a look made as long as it's extravagant and fabulous. You
Right.
go out there and you do it. And they're not going to say there's a rhinestone out of place.
Yeah.
Oh, that seam is a little loose. They're not going to say things like that. When you do a pageant, you are like the last when I did Continental. I think I spent about $9,000 on one pageant.
Oh boy.
um the gown itself was about $3,500 for evening gown. The talent outfit was another like $600. The hair was another $1,000. And the shoes, you have to get
Oh yeah.
things, get all the supplies to embellish and encrust, and um taking care of other shit. But yeah, it ended up being a quite expensive venture. This pageant is costing a little bit of money too, but it's an
Yeah.
investment that is less about the amount of money you're going to be spending on it and more about how you can help impact and better your position as a pillar in the community,
Hmm.
than anything. When you think of long-term true drag legends, a lot of them that haven't been on Drag Race and television, they are the old school pageant girls,
Right.
you know? And there's just that dedication to your craft that comes with doing something like a pageant that is serious.
Oh yeah. Well, because they are like very, very, especially with the gowns, like very, very particular about every little tiny detail. Which I feel
Yeah.
like the difference between that and something like Drag Race or Queen of the Universe is like Drag Race, Queen of the Universe, it's the volume of things that you have to prepare.
Hmm.
Whereas with pageants, it's not as much in terms of like the number of outfits and performances and whatnot, but
Mhm.
they are much, much more picky about the details of it.
Yeah, yeah. Like as you mentioned, it is less things to prepare, but more perfection in preparing those
Right.
things. Hmm. Have you ever considered about doing that yourself? Because I think you should.
I feel like I should. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, first of all, I don't have the money to be doing any pageants right now.
But you're a
And
seamstress.
yes, however, like even like the entry fee to do a pageant, like I'm running on broke at the moment. So like it's not even something I would like consider doing. But it's also like having to put all of my eggs in the basket of one single outfit and one single performance stresses me out. Cause like I love like a drag race style competition where it's like, you get multiple opportunities to show what you can do. The pageant is very much just like if they don't really get your one thing, then you just spent all that time and money for, them to tell you, eh.
That's true. And I guess with pageantry, you have to figure out how to fit yourself, but into the mold
Right.
of the pageant. So it's not just totally free reign like you might get in something like a drag race style competition.
Yeah. Well, because it's very, and also like, you know, I'm very much more of like a concept type of queen. Like I love a look that like tells a story and has like a character to it. And so doing something like evening gown, where it's like wear a very pretty gown that is very extravagant and elegant and polished and sparkly head to toe. I'm like, yeah, but how do I turn that into something? Which like
Well,
isn't really what they're looking for.
what's interesting though is I don't know how versed you are in the world of pageantry,
Not well enough.
but there are multiple pageant systems. When you think of something like a gown that is beautiful and sparkly and just has to be perfectly executed, perfectly fitted,
Right.
but and just glamorous, you're thinking of systems like, say, Miss Gay America, Miss Continental, maybe
Right.
even Miss US of A. But there are systems that I think someone like you might actually really thrive in. Systems like Entertainer of the Year, or Comedy Queen. There's National Comedy Queen as well.
I have seen a little bit
Um,
about that.
yeah, you can literally create an entire concept gown. I've
Uh,
seen people, what one that I remember is a queen became and she did her gown based on being an entire stick of melted butter.
oh, I love that. I
You know,
saw
like,
I think it was the Miss Comedy Queen this past year for her evening gown did a giraffe and like gave birth to the baby giraffe, like opened up her legs and the baby giraffe fell out, and I thought that was so funny.
see, there's different pageant systems
Yeah.
for different types of entertainers. I honestly would love to see you do something like National Comedy Queen or All American Goddess is another one where it's in the realm of what we'd call a money system because it's about having the biggest, the most elaborate.
Oh boy.
You know, you are presenting as this goddess queen. People show up with gowns alone that are gown presentations, I should say, alone that are costing them like 10 grand plus for like a gown presentation, not including their talent with 40 dancers and whatever the hell else that they flew in from across the country,
Oh
you
god,
know?
yeah.
It's insane. But I would personally love to see you do something like National Comedy Queen.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider it. It's also like I feel like my thing with pageants is like I never see a whole lot of like advertisement for them. Like I feel like it's one of those things where I'm like, if I saw people post, oh hey, like that, you could the qualifiers or whatever for like this pageant are happening, and I'm like, I feel like I never see anything except for like the local pageants, which like there's one coming up around here that I was looking into, but the theme was country. And I'm not a country girl. I have my one cowgirl look because I felt like it, and that's as far as I'll go. So like I'm not doing a whole pageant that's country themed. Um,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where like if you're not actively searching out a pageant to do, like they're kind of hard to stumble across unless like the real
If you're not already in that world. then
Yes.
they can be hard to find. You have to be friends with the right people on Facebook to see the
Yeah.
advertisements, in the right groups, on the right social media channels, because pageantry isn't just going to bars these days and saying, "You're beautiful, come compete in my pageant." Now
Right.
it's, find the Facebook flyer and tag as many people as possible and get them to
Yep.
pay entry fee and compete. So
See, that's the other
it's
thing
different world.
is pageants are all on Facebook where all the old people are. And I'm on Twitter, which is currently falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, isn't it called X now or something? Or it's going
Yeah,
to
so
be?
I keep seeing every day for the last like 3 days, they've been like, today they're gonna change it to X.com, and then every day my app still says Twitter. So I don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
I don't understand. He's wanting to tie it into that SpaceX brand and everything else. I don't have no idea.
I think he tried to name his child X too. Like I think
He
he's
tried.
really into the letter X.
What is his child's name?
Isn't that the one that's like weird symbols pronounced like
Yes.
funky? I don't know.
I don't know.
Straight people are weird, but like going back to the aliens thing, maybe it has to do with that. I don't know.
No,
Did you
I'm
actually hear about the aliens
80.
thing though?
I did hear something about there would be an official like announcing of something recognizing aliens soon.
So there was I saw this today on Twitter, not x.com. But it was like some guy under oath was saying that the government has like UFOs and non-human biologic things that they're like, they're confirming that they have them, which is like cool. I'm not believing shit until they show me a picture, but I thought that was fun.
Did you see that National Geographic mermaid documentary?
I think I have actually.
Yeah, it was an April Fool's joke. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
fully believing that they might just do something like that
Well,
as
but
well.
see, that was like National Geographic. This is the United States government. That was like the guy was under oath, and he was like, "Yeah, we've got aliens." I'm like, "That's cool."
Because
I
our
don't believe it
government's so
yet, but like,
serious.
I think it's very interesting that they're just kind of like, "We've got aliens now," and then what's his face? The old guy was just kind of like having a stroke up at the having his speech today. Mitch McConnell,
that,
the guy who looks like kind of like a turtle.
honey, that's every single person in office these days.
Oh yeah, they're all like
Every
80
single
years
one of
old and
them.
like 5 seconds from dying.
And those are the people that are telling us what to do.
And you know what? I'm glad that they're having a stroke because then when they're telling us what to do, they get to stop mid sentence and go,
just confused, girl. Dazed and
yeah.
confused.
Oh yeah. No, but it was hilarious. I saw the video. The literal like mound of flesh that he is standing there up at this podium, giving his speech in his weird old man voice, and then he just kind of trails off. And then he's just staring there at the camera, and all of his people come up to him and they're like, "Do you have anything else to say? Do you want to say anything else? Maybe we should go back to your office. Do you want to say anything
are,
else?"
are you
And then he just
done? Are
goes,
you done?
and then he just stares, and they're like, "Okay, come on, buddy, let's go." And I'm like, who let their old dying pet cat get up here
Oh,
to give the little speech
oh
at the
God! It's
government?
like okay, Grandpa, we get it. The war was horrible. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed.
Oh yeah, listen, I think he needs to fight the war with standing up and speaking clearly.
Honey, I know too many queens that have that trouble too, thinking they can host a show, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, we could go back to reading people for their looks if you want.
I may be successful, but I am not a girl to read people on their looks because I wear the same stretch sequin dress in 15 colors and call it a day.
See, but here's the thing: like that to me is like the Ada Vox brand. It's like
Yeah.
it's like how Trixie Mattel wears that same fucking pink mod dress in every color with her big blonde wigs. Like there is a line where it stops being like repetitive and boring and becomes a branding thing. You know?
So when I go on Drag Race one day, maybe possibly, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
go ahead and wear stretch sequin gowns for every single runway in different colors with different sleeves.
But you know what? Bianca Del Rio did it, and so can you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, I was gonna say at least I'm pretty, but uh, you know. I'm also fat, so it counteracts.
Yeah, you know how they feel about the fat girls. We
Always a
don't get jack
bridesmaid.
shit.
No, ma'am. And who is we? You ain't no fat girl. You are not fat like your mama fat.
Yes, but I'm over 200 pounds. It counts.
Are you over 200
I am over
pounds?
200 pounds. Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
it's most people don't realize because I corset so fiercely in drag.
Yeah.
But like, because my drag body like completely like rearranges my entire figure because
Yeah.
I do the gigantic tits and the huge hips and then the corset real tight, and then out of drag I'm just a little chunky guy.
No, and I weigh a lot more than people realize too when they see me. Like they don't realize that I am a near 400-pound bitch.
Well, you're also like I feel
I'm
like taller than people think.
Yeah, that and I think I hold my weight very well in
Yes,
terms of the way I'm distributed. So I'm
because people
grateful
also
for
don't realize
that.
that like you don't really like pad or anything in drag. You just corset sometimes and that's
Yeah,
it.
a corset and a couple pairs of Spanx, and we call it a day. And that's my fashion.
Yeah, you've got damn feminine hips.
They're full, childbearing.
Mama's got the feminine figure.
Honey, that's another thing in the Vox family. Gotta have
Yeah.
that feminine figure.
Oh
Whether
yes,
you pad
ma'am.
for it or whether you pad for it or not, you gotta have it. The curves.
Oh yeah. Listen, if you don't have natural feminine figure, store bought is fine.
Store bought will do. Sponsored by Serta. It'll do the
Listen,
job.
I bought my Planet Pepper pads like 5 years ago, and they're still going. So maybe store bought ain't so bad because everyone's like, "Oh, I wouldn't buy pads. I want to make mine," and I'm like, "So you want yours to be uneven and lumpy?" Whereas I paid like $100 for mine like years and years ago, and they still work just fine.
Hmm.
And they came with shorts. I don't even have to stick them in my tights. I just put them on.
Yeah. Yeah, Alize
Right.
has some pads that she's been using forever, and then when she needs a replacement, she just orders pads and puts them in the same shorts.
Exactly. Like that's I'm like if and when mine finally kick the bucket, I'm like I can just order new inserts and stick them right back in those shorts. Maybe I'll go any
Yeah,
bigger. Who knows?
yeah, exactly. She banging body 24/7, baby.
Oh yeah. Listen, I think that the banging body in drag, while not necessary, it does lead to more opportunities to wear flattering garments.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Because I
And
think that if you don't wear any body in drag, that's perfectly valid. But you have
mhm.
to wear outfits that give you some shape.
Either that or you're just in general limited to
Yes.
the things that you can wear, because you have to wear something that looks good without body.
Right.
Sometimes just a beautiful gown might not fall right without the right
Oh
curves.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just gonna look like a stick straight little box
Yeah,
on those twinks
and
with no
it
nothing.
works beautifully for certain garments, but
Right.
it just doesn't work for everything. Just like being curvy doesn't work for every garment either.
Oh yeah.
You got to know your body to make that fashion work.
Exactly. And that's the thing is I'm like, I hate when like people will critique someone's body in drag, and I'm like, no, 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 no. They're not ugly because of their body. They're ugly because of the clothes they chose to put on their body.
Their makeup doesn't help, but it's
Exactly.
the
If you're gonna be
clothes.
mean, you have to be mean in the right way. Don't body
Now,
shame people, outfit shame them. Shame them for their
speaking
decisions.
speaking of body shaming and decisions and all of those things, how is your relationship with your fans, your supporters, and your fashion? Do they often comment? Do you get people with unsolicited remarks and everything often?
So I personally am very new to the whole having fans thing. Cause up until literally a month ago, I was like a regular drag queen with like 4,000 Instagram followers, and I got like my three friends commenting on every post. And so like having the recent blow up, like I get a lot of really nice comments, which is really nice. It makes me feel
Good.
I had one comment on YouTube which was like a lot of the times hate comments, like they are intended to be mean, but they're so funny the way that they're worded. Where this one was like, you've got a great face, but you definitely need to lose 20 pounds. And I'm like, why so specific? Like, just call me fat and be done. God, don't waste your breath,
Yeah,
buddy. But I'm
I
like,
love it.
yeah, I like it's entertaining more than anything. And so I'm like,
Hmm.
other than like back before I blew up, I had like that one Instagram reel that like fell onto the conservative side of Instagram, and I was getting all these comments that were like vomit emojis telling me to kill myself, and I was like, oh, don't threaten me with a good time and all that jazz. That actually, I think that happened at Pride when we had finally met in person for the first time.
You had just started, your video had just started kind of taking off at that
Yeah,
point.
well, and
Yeah.
that was a different one before the one that like actually blew up. That was like the precursor almost. It was like the little drizzle before the storm, because that one had like I think like 20,000 views, and I was like, oh
Mhm.
my god, I'm going viral, and it was mostly hate comments. And then the stupid video of me eating my hair went, it's at 700,000 views now. And I'm
Ah!
like, oh, so that's what that's like. And now on
Yeah.
every single thing I post, people are like, I eated my hair, dinner, and I'm like, great, thanks.
That's just gonna have to be your entrance line if you make it on Drag Race.
Well, it really is. And the thing is like, I'm glad that it was that and not something like worse. Because I've said plenty of worse things in my videos, but also like I say dinner about things that one should not eat very frequently. Like that's one of my isms is like, people will be like, oh, there's a deer on the side of the road that somebody hit with their car, and I'll be like, dinner, you know?
You see, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Exactly. But
Venison
you
is
see,
delicious.
most people find it jarring when I say dinner about like the hair you picked out of the carpet.
Oh gosh, maybe we're both the problem.
Oh, we absolutely are. That's why we're here.
Oh.
Why do you think nobody else is doing this stupid show with us?
Yeah, yeah, it just snapped to me that we are both the problem. And I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. No, we get to do a duet of "Antihero" by Taylor Swift.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it. It'll be
It's
great.
me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Yeah, I like roadkill venison. It's me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
speaking of the social media and the fans of it all, when did you like really start to get a big following on social media? Like which television appearance did cause that?
The vast majority of my followers are from Idol.
Which time?
Um,
I'm assuming the second time.
yeah, the first time Ada wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
So, on that page, I think I maybe only hit like 4 or 5 thousand followers.
Oh,
Um, and that's because I like had been working as a professional singer and everything for many years already,
right.
but just locally. So it's not like I'm going to garner this huge following.
Right.
Um, and so I gained a few thousand followers from that as a boy. But after being on Idol as Ada, I only have I think like 106,000 followers right now or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like 80,000 plus are from Idol.
Oh wow.
So, um, the interesting thing about the fan base of reality television is they are either loyal to boot or incredibly fickle.
Yeah.
You know, it's either they're, yes, I'm by your side, I'm here for you, or we're unfollowing because you lost.
And
You
naturally,
know?
they all went after Queen of the Universe.
Yeah. And Queen of the Universe was interesting in terms of followings, though, as well. Drag very obviously got all of Brazil behind her.
Oh yeah.
Um, and that's just how the Brazilians are. They're
Right.
incredibly supportive of their people. They band together. It's amazing. Here in America, we don't have that.
No.
We
No. Americans
don't.
don't care about each other at all, even a little
No,
bit.
yeah, and it's when it comes to queens, if we're not on a mainstream queen show like
Yeah.
Drag Race, they don't care. They know we
Oh no.
exist. They sure
Right.
know we exist, but they're not going to follow us.
No.
They're not going to support. They're not going to share. They're just going to be like, oh, okay. When they see you in somebody else's comments
Yeah.
that they follow,
They're
they're going to say, oh, hi.
they're gonna pay just enough attention so that they can win at their Drag Race Universe trivia. So they're gonna know who went home when, and they're gonna know the names of everybody, and they're gonna know absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, and these are all people. A lot of them have known me since Idol because obviously Idol is watched by an average of 9 million people an episode. I was seen by people. I had
I'm so
articles
sorry to
written
those
about
9 million
me.
people.
Honestly, I had articles written about me in Forbes and People magazine and Billboard magazine and all kinds of huge publications, and all kinds of internet articles and all kinds of newspapers, everything everywhere, whether positive or negative. People knew me,
Yeah.
people saw me, but they're not going to follow me.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because that's how the gays work these days. There's very few that will support you because you're talented rather than because you were on their favorite show.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's why like I feel very lucky to have gotten like such a relatively large following from like my personality and my drag as opposed to like having been on TV, because like
Yeah.
obviously I would like to be on TV, but I appreciate that my followers are not following me because I've been on TV, but because they actually like me and my drag,
Yeah. And the
which is
people
like
that
very nice.
discover you through social media, on social media, are the ones that will stick with you. And those are the
Oh
ones
yeah.
that are going to help you move forward in today's industry where social media is the queen of everything.
Oh, absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
like a lot
That,
a lot of the girls don't, they both overestimate and underestimate social media, um to where like I went viral with my reels, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty easy. I just posted my silly little videos and people loved it, and then everyone, a whole bunch of my local drag friends were like, "Ugh, I could do that," and I'm like, okay, so do it, and then
yeah.
it's crickets.
They don't realize how hard it is.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
reason that there's an actual job that is content creator, social media
Oh
influencer,
yeah.
things like that. It's a job.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a
Well, and
lot
like
of work.
especially now that I'm trying to like keep up with it, like post regularly, like I'm doing this YouTube channel, I'm posting 3 times a week, and I'm trying to post daily on Instagram and like keep the momentum going. It's
Mhm.
a lot of work. And like, even just doing the reels, like, it took a while to come up with them all, and I had to record them and, keep up with posting them. But like,
Mhm.
it's also one of those things where it's like, you have to have the right content, because you don't just go viral for existing. You got to do something.
Yeah, and what we do as entertainers, as social media people, whatever it may be, it's not a 9 to 5.
No.
This is a midnight to midnight thing every day. And
Yeah.
we have spent so many years learning who we are, how to portray who we are, and then figuring out how to script it, put it on camera, record it,
Yep.
having to get the equipment, having to write the make notes, having to re-record things 110 times because you hate the way you said one word.
Oh my
you
God.
know
When I record something, it's 100 videos in my freaking camera roll of just the various takes of it, and I have to go sort through them to remember which one I liked. But it's
Mhm.
also it's really rewarding, because once you do all the work, you get the paycheck of $0.00, and it makes
Mhm.
you feel really validated for everything that you did.
Yeah, I get residuals from American Idol. When's the last time I got a residual check? It's maybe been a little bit, but I have gotten American Idol residual checks for like 2 cents. I've gotten music royalties for like $1 after a year,
Yeah.
things
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Well, and that's why, a lot of people who like don't do this or don't understand how this works are like, when people like you or even me are like, posting our payment info on socials, being like, hey, like if you really like my work, like it would be really nice if you would tip me. Like, we're not saying that because we're greedy. We're saying that because we don't make any money doing this.
Yeah. All the extra that they see us doing on social media to make sure
Yeah,
they stay engaged, all of that extra stuff. It's very rare that we're making money off of that. We
absolutely.
usually would make our money when we're out working, performing at shows, promoting things of
Right.
that nature. But aside from that, all the rest of it is out of the kindness of our hearts to keep you entertained and involved.
Exactly. And so if you like us, what you can do is, I will be leaving both of our payment info in the description. And if you feel so inclined, even just $1 here and there will be infinitely helpful, especially for Ada, who's currently preparing for a pageant that is costing her a lot of money.
Yeah,
Um, I still live with my parents, so I'm like kind of okay. But also like drag is expensive. So $1 here and there does not hurt.
Yeah, period. $1 here and there does not hurt. It'll allow us to piece together our next Sheen piece that we can style and make a runway
Exactly.
look.
So I say that like I think the next like 3 or 4 looks are things that I definitely did not make, that I'm posting, and then I'm gonna be doing like 3 months worth of stuff that I've sewn because I'm making all new looks for Drag Duel. And so I'm like,
Oh,
people are gonna be like, does she really sew? Because I'm posting like this outfit was from, from a friend, this outfit was from Coquetry Clothing, this outfit was from Hot Topic, and then I'm gonna be like, here's 5 bajillion really nice things that I made myself. That's gonna
well,
be
really
great.
nice is to be determined.
Listen, at least I own a serger, so my seams look nice.
Yeah, and at least I can visit a Ross to buy this dress
And you know what? It looks great.
from here up.
From there, yes, exactly. What we can see of it looks great. And listen, I'm getting my mileage out of this $7 Shein bodysuit that I wear in literally like every single appearance on social media.
Yeah,
Because
I
like
think
most of my content is like, it's not about the look, it's about what I'm saying and my pretty little
mhm.
face. And so I'm like, who gives a shit what I'm wearing? Like, I don't have to put on a
Yeah,
corset to do my silly little videos.
I think all of us have like a throw over thing.
Oh yeah.
Something that's just like, hey, here's this in the closet. Here's a pile of clothes that we could just pop on to do interviews and
Oh
content.
yeah. I feel like I need to get like more variety of that kind of stuff because like I just have the black bodysuits. I have multiple of them, but it's just the black bodysuits. So like maybe I should just like get these in all the colors and
We'll
just
just call it branding. That's it.
listen. There you go. That's it. It's the Zelda Vox black bodysuit. I'm gonna post the merch of me in the Zelda Vox black bodysuit with my random wig that I decide to wear that day and the makeup that doesn't match.
Now, wigs, I don't have.
Yeah, but you also get to use your natural hair, which I feel like is both a pro and a con.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space and does kind of limit what I can and am willing to do because putting all of this hair underneath a wig cap or something, one, my head is bigger than normal. I
Yeah.
literally sent my measurements to someone for a custom wig and they're like, "Oh, that's much bigger than the average wig cap."
So
So
what,
that
25, 26 inches?
I want to say that my head was 26.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I want to say that my head was 26 circumference. So they were like, yeah, that's bigger than I make ours, that we just use standard sizing, whatever. So I said, oops, okay. It makes it really hard for me to wear wigs as it is, because then you get
Yeah.
all your hair up and it adds a little bit of volume and then nothing's fitting right. And because my hairline actually comes pretty far down, like on the sides,
Mm-hmm.
that this hairline is sticking out while the wig's trying to hang on to the back of the head and stay with this. And it's a whole
See, what I
mess.
do is I shave that part of my hair, and people never
Yeah,
notice. Which like
yeah,
I
but
was
then you
worried when
have
I
to
first
keep
did it.
shaving it.
Yeah, but it's like I also shave my eyebrows, and so I'm like I just keep it shaved, and it's like it's fine. Because like I used to have that problem because like I love wearing white wigs, but like seeing the little dark hair peek through on the sides here was not cutting it. And first I tried gluing them down, and that's such a pain in the ass. Um,
Yeah,
and so then I was like, all right, fine, I'm just gonna shave them off, and I did. And I say that unless you can incorporate your natural brow into your drag brow, and you do drag more than once a week, shave your brows, shave them.
yeah.
You won't regret
If it's
it.
something, no, if it's something you're going to be doing regularly, just get rid of it. Get rid
Yeah.
of half your brow. Get rid of the back quarter of it so you can
Well,
make a good tail.
yeah. Well,
Whatever.
I say unless you're using your natural brow as a base, because like if you're shaving off
Hmm.
half your brow and then still gluing it down anyway, no, just shave it all off.
Yeah, I
I see
shave
people need to
off
do that. They're like,
everything
oh, I'm
that
gonna
I
shave
don't
off half my
use.
brow so it's less to glue down, and then I'm like, why not just shave off the whole thing? Because I get these temporary tattoo eyebrows that I just throw on, when I want to be a regular day person and not look like the aliens that the government apparently now has. And so I get that my literally they're like 12 cents a pair. They take 30 seconds to put on in the morning, and literally nobody can tell.
Yeah, oh, I remember Thea was like, "Oh,
Yes.
those are tattoos. Those aren't
Oh yeah, she was
real."
giggity giggity gagged. It was very entertaining. But like it,
Oh,
especially like when I worked retail, when I was working at Miss Fabric store, um all day people would be like, oh my God, I love your eyebrows. And I'm like, thanks, they're totally fake. And they'd be like, no way. And I'd be like, touch my face, random stranger. And then the random stranger would touch my face and be like, whoa, that's wild. And I would say, yeah, my life pretty crazy.
I've been considering doing actual microblading for brows
Yeah.
because it'd be really easy to cover up with makeup, just to draw
Yeah,
on a fresh brow.
this is true. I don't know. I worry about that because I'm like, what if it's not as easy as I think it's going to be to cover up with makeup? Um, and also like, I don't know. I personally don't mind not having eyebrows. I think I look cute with no eyebrows, and so I'm like, I don't really care. Um, like my boyfriend was like, he was like, I was making you in The Sims, and like I couldn't figure out why I didn't look like you, and then I realized because the Sim had eyebrows. And he was like, I just got so used to you without eyebrows. Like, you just look normal to me. And I'm like, that I look normal to me too with no eyebrows. Because if you
Yeah.
see somebody without eyebrows for, long enough, you forget that they had eyebrows.
Yeah, and honestly, if you met them for the first time and they didn't have eyebrows, it doesn't look weird either because you never had
Exactly.
this preconceived notion of what they look like.
Exactly. Like when I see Ivana with eyebrows on, freaks me the fuck out. So I'm like, who is this?
Who is this man?
Who is this man and what is he doing in Ivana's house? But like
Oh
I put on the
God.
eyebrows for special occasions and for pictures because I like being photographed with eyebrows. Um, but I also don't take pictures of myself a lot out of drag, so
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Your drag eyebrows, you draw them on. They're not the
yeah,
little tattoo brows, right? Yeah, okay, they're drawn on.
yeah.
Because I know like Mistress does one of those like temporary tattoo
Yeah,
brows
she
for her
she
drag
does I think
makeup.
the same ones that I have for drag.
Huh.
But she also like puts them on and just uses them as like a guide and like pretty much draws all the way over
Yeah,
them.
as a base. Mhm.
Which I don't know how she does it because I tried to do that once, and if you put any makeup on top of them, they completely disintegrate and like make a gross peely mess all over your face. So
Hey, she is Mistress Isabel Brooks. She makes it work. Whatever she does always works, and it is what it
I
is.
I think we should get her on the pod just so she can explain how she does those brows. And also because I would love to see what mean things she can say to me.
Oh God, that's too easy.
I know. That's the fun of it. She has to like go through the Rolodex of things she can say and pick one.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we'll talk about trying to get her on sometime soon just so she can read. Just
Oh
to
yeah.
read.
Yeah. Please leave suggestions for guests in the comments because I want to start having guests next week. So we're gonna start making some calls and some texts. So let us know in the comments who you want us to have on the show. Because we like talking to people. And we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
By we
We
I mean
know a
Ada
lot of
knows a lot of people.
people. No,
And I
you
know
know
I
a
know a
lot of
handful of people.
people. Our fans like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you never know who they want to see. Maybe it's someone we could actually get.
Yeah. Listen, nobody is completely out of the question.
Correct. Nobody is completely out of the question, except maybe like RuPaul. But like,
Yeah, but even she's done podcasts. You never know.
we we should get Lady Bunny.
That feels dangerous.
I like Bun Bun. I'm gonna get Bun Bun. I was on her podcast not too long ago. We're gonna have Bun Bun at some point. That would be
Like,
fun.
let's do it. I'm so down. Hopefully she stays alive long enough for us to actually get her on the pod.
Yeah, we gotta work quick.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get her in priority because she's gonna die soon.
Priority shipping to Bun Bun.
Yeah. I think that we should move on to some audience questions from the audience.
Yes. Speaking of the fans, what do they got to say?
Yeah. So our first question comes from Maddie, who asks, what's your favorite song to sing? Ada, what's your favorite song to sing? I'm sure you definitely have never been asked this question before.
Never. In every interview that I've ever done, I've never been asked this question. It is an interesting one because although I have been asked this question more times than I care to count, I have never had an answer. My answer is always very general because for me, there's no one specific song that's like, this is the one. It makes me feel so good. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's more so about the audience that I'm performing for, and being able to feel it out. Like when I have a song and a type of style that I really like to sing for pageants,
Mhm.
and it's like when I do like opera or something, and I love doing it. It fulfills me there. but I'm not doing that at a Pride.
Right.
You know, at a Pride, I love singing "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston,
Oh
or
yeah.
something. You know, on a cruise ship, I love singing old diva classic ballads like "At Last" because it's a bunch of 70-year-old gays
Yeah.
who love those old things and love the feeling that it brings them and everything. So it's less about the specific song I like to sing and more about me picking the right song for the audience I'm performing for. So that question goes unanswered in terms of specific song, but is fulfilled, I think, in me saying that my favorite song to sing depends on the occasion.
Okay, so how about this? I'm going to fix the problem and make you give an answer by
Ah,
saying, what song would you sing if the audience was just me and whoever random gay person is listening to this right now?
oh gosh, if it was you, you're like a musical theater person, kind of, sort of.
Vaguely, I'm more of a pop girly, but I do sing a lot of musical theater,
But
so
I don't do pop. So I'd
that's fair.
probably lean more to like the musical theater. And I think you sing this song. I want to say I've heard you. So maybe like "Don't Rain on My Parade."
That is actually my answer to this question. Don't Rain on My Parade is in fact my go-to song. I like to live my Rachel Berry fantasy, because it sits at like the perfect spot in my range for me to show off. And it's a song that everybody knows, everybody likes it. It's a fun
Mhm.
song. I get to do a little bit of acting, um,
The
the
dramatics.
dramatics of it all, and it's easy but sounds impressive, and so I enjoy it.
That's the fun thing about us having contrasting voices, where
Yeah.
I sing primarily in an upper alto soprano range. And would you consider yourself a baritone?
Yes, I'm a baritone.
Yeah, so and that's the fun thing about what we do. We can sing the same song in the same key, but in different octaves,
Yeah.
and it works both ways.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like a lot of songs that I like to sing, usually I can sing it in the original key. I just have to bring it down an octave, which is
Yeah,
really fun because I
yeah,
don't
and
have to I don't have to go transpose in every song I sing.
yeah, and that's the soprano baritone relationship there that I
Yeah.
think is just a beautiful thing in voice and music that a lot of people might not understand. But
Oh yeah.
sopranos and baritones are brother sister cousins in
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, and it's
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 very
also one of
Arkansas.
those things that like I'm a big music theory nerd, because I took 4 years of music theory. I took 2 years in high school and then 2 years in college. And so like whenever I'm doing like drag mixes or anything, like I always make sure that like the keys match up and that like I have like transitions that make sense like musically instead of just
Yeah.
lyrically, because I'm a crazy person even though most people don't care. But it also means that I hate a lot of people's mixes because their transitions between songs are very ugly sonically. It drives me nuts.
They're literally whip crack right into a new song
Yep.
and call
Oh yeah.
it a
Well, and I'm like,
day.
the worst is mashups where the songs are not in the same key. And so they're putting one
Oh
song
yeah.
directly on top of another and they don't realize why it sounds crunchy. Ooh, that drives me
Yeah.
nuts. If you do that, this is a direct call out to you. Stop doing that. Check the key of your song. Transpose it if you have
Specifically
to.
you.
Yeah, specifically you, drag queen that's listening to this. I know what you're doing. Um, but if anybody is like, I don't know what you're talking about, how do I do that? I may make a video that is the drag queen music theory class that tells you exactly the amount of music theory you need to know to make better mixes.
How wonderful. That's so nice of you. See, I teach those things on the side for funsies, voice
Mm-hmm.
lessons, music theory things and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience to put up a video to hear a bunch of nonsense from people who don't know what they're talking about trying to correct me because they like their whip cracks. No,
Oh,
ma'am.
see, listen, I just tune out the comments and take those sweet, sweet views. Every view is one step closer to monetization, baby.
Yeah, watch the whole way through, y'all. We need the
Oh
watch
yeah.
time in order to get channels to monetized.
I'm gonna post this clip on social so that you guys know. Watch my videos all the way through, please. Because
Same
once I
goes
hit
with
those
reels and
4,000 hours of
everything
watch
else.
time, what?
Same goes with reels and everything else that you see. Watch
Oh
them
yeah,
all the
watch it
way
all the way through.
through.
Watch it more than once if you want to. Like, wait, the more time you spend actually watching, that matters more than clicking all the buttons. You gotta sit there and watch it.
Absolutely. If you scroll past after a second, then it's gonna be like, oh, so they didn't like this, so they're gonna stop
Yeah.
recommending it to people. We need
Hmm.
things to be recommended so we can be successful. Thank
So
you.
if you see our beautiful faces, stay there. Thank
On the
you.
note of favorite songs and things of that nature, is there anyone in particular that inspires you and what you do in your music or your drag or anything that you pursue?
Um, so one of my biggest inspirations for my drag, I have a few. Number one is Rebecca Sugar, who is the creator of Steven Universe. Um,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
the aesthetic that she created in that show is just so beautiful and like just really resonates with me. It's just like it's very inherently queer and also just like calming. And so I definitely like to give the vibe like I like to give the vibes as though I am a drag queen that like would be canon in Steven Universe.
Okay, I see that. Uh-huh.
Like the vibe the when I've started telling people my drag aesthetic is and my persona really is a Steven Universe fusion of Jade West and Kat Valentine from Victorious.
Ah! Not with
Like
the Cat Valentine in there.
that is the vibe. It's because I'm a little bit stupid and a little bit mean and it kind of all evens out and it's a little cartoony and it's very fun. I'm also obviously inspired by video games, specifically Nintendo. I'm inspired a lot by like pop stars, specifically like Lady Gaga and like especially recently like Melanie Martinez with like the aesthetics that she did for Portals. Like
Mm.
I love when people can like really create a whole like world around their music. Like Lady Gaga with Chromatica, how she had like the whole like I love when people really take the visuals there and that really inspires my drag because drag is about taking visuals and music and combining them and so you know especially like I'm a big pop music fan and so pop artists who do that definitely inspire my drag a lot.
So you really like the feeling of an artist that is invested in the immersion of
Yes.
their guests, of
Yes, I
their
like the whole
fans and
experience and
supporters.
I think that's another reason why I really like something like Steven Universe where like the music too is so distinct like the use of
It's
jazz
beautiful.
chords and just like the it's such a unique sound and it carries throughout everything in the show even though like they
Mhm.
can create so many different emotions with it um and like I really like that concept really of just like being able to do
Mm.
that and so like I translate like not in such a one-to-one ratio kind of way but I translate a lot of those like concepts to my drag in a way where like
Mm.
you know I I like that Steven Universe, the designs are very like color blocky and cartoonish, but still very like unique and whimsical and interesting. And so like a lot of my drag, like I don't really like using, fabrics that are prints and patterns. I like using
Oh.
like colors and doing things like embellishing and painting and things to really like make a garment unique without having like all of making it too busy.
So on the question of Steven Universe, I do have one question for you
Oh
on
yes,
that
absolutely.
specifically. What would your presence be like in Steven Universe? Would you be a humanoid character or would you be like an amethyst or a peridot?
I That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I feel like be I feel like I would be a gem, but I would be something like Spinel where I'm just like a jester on Homeworld
Okay.
and I just change my silly little costumes to do my silly little dance. I would be like Spinel but mean, but not in the way that she was in the movie.
I didn't even know there was a movie.
You didn't watch Steven Universe movie is phenomenal. Highly recommend
I've
watching
never seen the movie. I've seen the series, of course,
it.
but
Oh
had
yeah.
never watched the movie. I did
No,
not know that was a
it's
thing.
the main series is followed by the movie and then followed by Steven Universe Future.
Oh, see, I never saw the in between then.
Yeah, so there's the movie in
Interesting.
between, which I just rewatched recently. I'm actually in the middle of a Steven Universe rewatch, so it's especially relevant now. Um,
Yeah.
but if you haven't checked out Steven Universe, I know a lot of people don't like it because they're like they see that it's like a kid show on Cartoon Network. It is not a children's show. I don't know why they showed that shit to children. It is incredibly deep and emotional and queer and entertaining and hilarious and just like,
Yeah.
and I feel like every queer person should watch Steven Universe start to finish. It may take a few episodes before you really like understand what's going on, but like once you get a few hours into watching Steven Universe, you're going to be so invested.
And speaking of things that aren't for kids, that are marketed to kids, I just for the very first time saw Coraline.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I just saw it for the first time literally 2 days ago. I didn't finish like the last 15 minutes because it was like 3 a.m. and I was falling asleep. But so I haven't seen the ending, don't tell me. But
Okay.
that is not for kids.
No, that is the children's horror movie, and
yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's only rated PG, which it is what it is. That's I don't think it's inappropriate or anything of that nature, but that is
definitely
really
scarred
deep.
a child or two for life.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I always had friends that talked about it, had stickers all over their binders, all the whatever stuff.
Oh yeah,
but I'd never seen it until just 2 days ago, and I was like, oh, this ain't for kids.
yeah. Oh, I love that movie. I did a Coraline number for the Queen, which was the in-person competition I did back in 2021. And I want to do an Other Mother look so bad.
Oh,
because I just think she's so spooky. I love it. But yeah, Coraline's a great movie. Please finish it and tell me what you think of the ending.
And I will.
So we do have some more audience questions. So Teddy, this is my boyfriend. He asked, do you believe that cereal is a soup? What about ice cream?
Is that one from Teddy?
Yes.
It says James.
Yeah, Teddy asked both of those questions, and his middle name is James. And I said that way, in case we say the names, I can pretend it's two different people. Say the name for the first one. So
can't stand you.
Yeah, we didn't get any good questions from anyone else.
But I was gonna say, before we get too far into answering questions and don't address it, we need questions that are new, exciting, and that are, even if they're weird, something like, is ice cream a soup? Questions like that are just fun and allow for space are really what we're looking for. We're like the questions like, who's your favorite drag queen, or what made you start drag?
I think the rule is don't ask us the same questions that you've heard Ada answer in interviews before.
Yeah.
Anything that Ada has been asked in an interview before, don't ask it. We don't want to hear.
We've all been asked 300 times. So even if it's a silly question, like one of my wonderful supporters, Susan Kehoe, is she's known as the Bear Lady. She's fantastic. But even if she were to inbox us and say, "What do you think bear poop smells like?" That is like the type of question that we would pick to answer.
We're here to just talk about dumb shit, guys. Come on, give us dumb shit. So, Teddy, thank you for asking about soup, because we do like soup here in this household.
And the question was, do you believe cereal is a soup? What about ice cream?
So, I believe that cereal is a soup.
Okay.
And I say that because if you're eating cereal without milk, you should be immediately driven to the vet and euthanized.
Yeah, I agree. Euthanization is the only proper.
Yeah, I don't care what kind of milk it is. I don't care if it's a milk substitute. I don't care if it's chocolate milk. I don't like whatever the fuck milk you want to put in it, fine. But you better put milk in your goddamn cereal.
How do you feel about people who eat cereal with ice water?
Okay, my sister did that once when she was like 6, and I think it was just to piss me off. I think that if you put ice water in your cereal, there is a special like 11th circle of hell just for you.
What about milk with ice? Milk with ice in the cereal.
Oh, that's also bad, but not nearly on the same level as cereal with ice water.
And I've also seen someone do orange juice with cereal.
That actually, and I hate fruit, and I hate fruit juices. And even I think that is not like the worst thing I've ever heard. Like that.
What cereal would you eat with orange juice?
What?
What would you eat with orange juice?
Oh, nothing.
She said, I wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't consume orange juice straight up. There is no you couldn't get me to drink orange juice. But for somebody who does like orange juice, I could see putting it in cereal. I feel like it's not like a totally unreasonable thing. Now, ice cream, I feel like is not a soup unless you let it melt and then put things in it, which I feel like then it's
But
not
then
really
it's just cereal.
exactly. Now, here's the
So,
other question: is salad a soup?
oh god.
Because if you think of it where the dressing is like the soup broth, and then you're just putting a bunch of things on it,
But I mean, in that case, is spaghetti a soup?
if you have enough sauce, yeah.
So salad
Butter
with
doesn't
enough
count.
sauce is
If you're just putting butter on your spaghetti, it's still just spaghetti. But if you're putting actual sauce with your spaghetti, then it's soup.
okay. Because my question, so with ice cream needing to be ice cream not being a soup, but in its liquid form, potentially becoming part of cereal, which is a soup,
Yes.
then is this is essentially liquid solid gas. And there's different stages, whereas the
Right.
liquid can become a solid, but it is not a solid. So ice cream is not a soup, but it can become one.
Yes. Yeah. It's the transitive property of soupification.
So with that idea, with the properties of soupification,
Right.
anything can be a soup.
Absolutely. I think humans are inherently soup.
Oh, we are soup and skin.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
absolutely.
what we are.
We're like a soup dumpling where if you just like bite the head off and suck out the
Mm,
juices,
yeah,
it's really delicious with some soy sauce.
yeah, and I can't imagine that human would be very easy to cook.
I feel like
I've
it
heard
couldn't be all that much more difficult than like any other animal. I mean,
we've
once you
definitely got to be like skewered and over a fire,
oh yeah, because I feel
fire
like
pit style.
I feel like you would do it the same way you would do like a cow, where you don't cook the whole cow at once. You cut it up into the different steaks.
Yeah, and humans are more like pork chops.
Yeah, I've heard that they taste like pork. I definitely don't know that from experience at all.
I
Anyway.
won't say that I don't,
Okay.
but I also don't. But I also don't.
Uh-huh. So Ada eats people, guys, just so you know. We have legal verbal confirmation. We are sending
It's the
we're
Vox
sending
family
like 13
secret.
teenagers who saw this on Twitter to your location right now, and they will yell really mean things at you through your window.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
But yeah,
So
so
humans are soup,
yes.
cereal is soup, ice cream can be soup.
Ice cream can be soup if you let it melt, which is debatable because like I feel like if you let the ice cream melt, is it really still ice cream?
Yes, no, or is it just cream?
I feel like then it's just kind of like cream, sweet cream. I don't know. Like what like before you freeze ice cream, what is it? Because when you're making ice cream, like there is a point where all the stuff is mixed together, it just hasn't been frozen yet.
It's still called ice cream, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, because when your ice cream is melted, you say, "I have ice cream all over my shirt."
And you say that specifically because you are a very messy eater who is really bad at getting all the ice cream in your mouth.
I eat ice cream way too slow.
Okay, I also eat very slow. Um, it's a problem.
So in our presence, almost everything ends up becoming soup.
Yeah, yeah, most things. I feel like I take so long to eat that like at some point like all solids are going to melt. Like even the bowl that I'm eating it out of will melt because I take so
Yeah.
long. Um, which I think is just really fierce.
How do you feel about bread bowls of soup?
I I don't like it. I think that your bowl should be a little bit more sturdy than a bread, and I think that the bread should be outside of the soup
Not
so that
part
you
of the
can.
soup.
Yes, I think you should be able to control the level of soup that enters your bread Um, and it's like unprotected sex. Like you don't want to have all of the soup in the bread because then the bread gets pregnant. You only want to have the soup in the bread if you're trying to make a baby. A
Yeah, I
food
guess so.
baby.
I was gonna say it's like unprotected sex because you like it, but it's not necessarily good for you. But yours is much more fun because you never know what you're gonna get.
Okay, so make sure you put a condom on your bread bowl so you don't get STDs, which in this case stands for soup transmitted
Soup
diseases.
transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
I love
On
that.
that note, I think we should move on to song association.
Yeah, we got to get ready to wrap this thing up. We done too much already.
Yeah.
You want to do
Okay.
the first word?
Yes. So this time I prepared a list of words for us to pick from so that we're not sitting there going for about 30 seconds before we give each other a word. So I'm going to give you the word game.
Oh God. Okay. Um, game. Um, I definitely have something. I'm trying to remember how Video Games by Lana Del Rey goes.
Oh, I don't know. I think I heard that song one time
Oh
sung by Trixie
gosh.
Mattel.
Oh yeah, Trixie Mattel does have a cover of it. Oh gosh, don't make me lose this one. I know it. I know it. Stop
Don't make me come in
playing
with a
games.
steal.
Oh gosh. No, I might have to skip this one only because I know word songs with game in it and it's just not coming to my head. Oh no, I
Okay.
got one! I got
Oh,
one! I
oh.
got one. Uh, get your head in the game. Get your head in the game.
See, I was sitting there trying to like mentally give it to you. I was going for let's play a love game, play a love game.
Oh,
Do you want fame or you win the game?
see, I'm not that gay. I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you know the one I was doing, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Right? Okay.
Listen, who doesn't know the High
Good.
School Musical? Are you kidding?
See if y'all knew it there, put it in the comments down below because I know some of y'all
Oh yeah.
immediately got
Well,
that
now
one
that's the question. Let us know in the comments. Were you thinking love game or get your head in the game, or were you also trying to figure out how video games by Lana Del Rey goes and unable to remember?
which apparently nobody remembers.
No.
Okay, now let's get you a word. Let's go with shoulder.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. I don't know the rest of that, or even who sings it, or the name of the
She's a
song.
TikTok girl.
Yes, that is absolutely a song I heard on TikTok one time. But I knew it, so it counts.
Yeah, that absolutely counts. I don't think mine counted. I took way too long, but yeah.
Well, I'll give it to you. You got there eventually. You got it before I was able to come in with the steal. So
That's what it's about. It's about getting there eventually.
exactly. Okay, I'm gonna give you the word glass.
Glass. Glass. Glass. Um, shattered glass. There's a song. Head. Um, broken glass. What is the song? It's Shattered Glass or something by Alexandria Burke. It's like I'm walking on broken glass. I want to know, but I don't know the words. It's something like that. I'm like that, but I got the word in there.
Oh yeah,
It's
no, I know exactly what song you're singing, and it's close enough in my opinion.
that I got somewhere eventually. There's 110 songs that came to me before that, but then that one just popped in and it'll do the job.
Yeah.
Okay, gosh. These are some interesting ones.
I just did whatever the generator gave me.
I mean, let's close it out with a bang and do thunder.
Lightning, feel the thunder. Thunder? Lightning and the thunder. That's a terrible song.
That's the same one that popped in my head as well. It was that one or Thunder by Jessie J.
I don't think I know that one.
You have to listen to. I can't sing it because I'll blow out the microphone again. But
Not again. Do you want to do one more round? I feel like we got some interesting ones there.
Oh, we absolutely can. Go ahead, throw another one at me. Let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna give you percussion.
Um, turn the beat around. Do percussion.
We love to hear percussion.
Yeah. So, turn it upside down. And
There
we
you
gotta
go.
do the Rebel Wilson.
Yeah,
You know,
you got it.
something. Okay, that'll do the job. Let's see. This is I mean, I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna put you in a corner. Your word is corner.
I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm
Yes.
giving it my all, but I'm not the girl you're taking home. Ooh, and I keep dancing on my own.
Yes. And then just me in the corner acting out the Raven and Jujubee lip sync.
There
Oh,
you go.
well, baby, we did it. We got through this. We got through another episode. We answered some fan questions. We
We
sang
did.
some songs.
We did do that. I'm so proud of us. I feel like
We
that was
talked about
significantly less of a
fashion.
shit show than last time.
Yeah, it was but I feel like we went on forever. People, are you still here with us?
Well,
Hello. Do we have connection to the other side?
they don't have anything better to do. Let's be real.
We love y'all so much and thank you for listening.
Yeah. So before we go, Ada, do you have anything to plug?
No, come to my pageant if you want to in Las Vegas next month. You can just inbox me for information. And make sure you follow me on social media. Feel free to tip your queens if you'd like. Local queens and myself and Zelda here for entertaining you.
I'm still a local queen. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. I haven't been on anything yet. But yes, you can leave us a tip, and please make sure you're following us on socials. I am going to quickly plug Drag Duel. The judges promos are coming out tomorrow, Monday the 31st. Which if you're listening to this after that, then they're already out. You should definitely go check out the Drag Duel judges promos. And the first episode is coming within the next couple weeks, so get excited for that. And yeah, follow us on everything, tip us your money. Make sure you watch all of my videos all the way through. Watch all of our videos all the way through because we like that and you should do it. And thank you guys so much for listening to us again. And please let us know in the comments who you want to see us have as guests because we are going to be getting some guests very soon.
Yes, and if recommendations for guests, suggestions for guests, questions for those guests you suggest, all of those things.
Absolutely. And give us questions that you want to hear us answer. Make them stupid, make them fun, make them interesting. Give us topics to talk about. Just, tell us what you want to hear us say, because we could go on about nothing for a really long time unless you steer us in a direction.
Way too long about what is soup.
And you know what? I feel like that was a really philosophical debate, and I think we got somewhere with it.
Definitely somewhere. A destination I'm not sure anyone wants to stay, but we made it there.
We did. All right. That's it for the Vox Talking. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.